Welcome to Jim's Code Corner. My name is Jim Belcher, and this is episode 3 on creating a full stack application with Spring Boot and Angular 4. Last episode, we went and completed the initial setup. So we now have Spring Boot set up, or we have our MySQL database set up, and Angular 4 set up. So let's see what's in store for us this time. Let's go back to our Trello board. Next up, we can see we have a user story here to, as a user, I want to add a task to help keep organized. Okay, the acceptance criteria. Given, I enter a description for a new task to the description field when I click the Add Task button or type Enter. Then the task is added to the to-do list and the description field is focused. Okay, now we also have two subtasks associated with this ticket, and that is going to be create API and create a UI. Okay, so I think in this video we're going to get started on the create API. We'll see if we get through all that. I'm not too sure, but we will see. So let's go ahead and move this into progress, and let's get started. Okay, moving over back to STS, we'll get started here by simply, let's start with the controller. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new package in my test source files. Let's call it controllers. Okay, so what we're going to do for our controller is we are going to take in a to-do list item, and then we are going to pass it onto the service, and have when that service returns a new item to us, or a saved item to us, we'll return that back. So we are going to first start by writing a test for that. So let's create a JUnit test case. We will call it to do item controller test, and that sounds like a good name to me. So let's open that guy up. It says it does not exist, even though I'm looking at it. There we go. Okay, this might have a little glitch. So I use Mockito, so we'll tell our script here to run with Mockito JUnit runner.class. And what's going to be a test here, we'll rename our first test to be test create test created to do item returns saved to do item. Okay, so in this test, what we're going to do, we're going to need a couple things set before we can actually write a test here. Like I mentioned, we're going to pass on to a service. So before we even prepare for that, let's first inject the mocks that we're going to be creating into the to-do item controller that we will be creating. So we'll call this subject, and we'll mock that to-do item service I mentioned, because that's what we're going to be mocking, and that's what the decision work's going to be. So we'll just go ahead and mock that guy out. We'll call it to-do item service. Go ahead and save it and see what it can import for me. Import run with, import inject mocks, import mock. Okay. That one didn't imitate. Oh, it's a slot because I couldn't find this guy. That's fine. Okay. So we're gonna write a quick test. It's obviously gonna fail because we can't even compile. So before before we even write the test, let's go ahead and make this thing at least be able to compile. So let's go ahead and create a new package here. We'll call it controllers, and we'll also create another one. Call it, call it .services, and we'll create another one called .entities, and one more. We'll call this one, we don't even know how to use it yet, but we're going to create it now, repositories. Okay, so those are all the packages we're going to need to accomplish these goals here. So let's first of all, let's create our class for the to-do item controller. To-do item controller. Okay, we now have a class. Let's go ahead and inject. Run with Makito JUnit runner.class. Not sure why it's not happy. Makito JUnit runner.class. I'll worry about that in a moment, I suppose. So, okay, the next thing we need to do to make this thing compilable is we need just an interface for the service. We'll call it to do item service. We'll save that guy. Now we should be able to, I'm not sure why none of these things are pulling themselves in. Let's go ahead and close it, and we'll reopen it and see if we can fix some of these issues. Is this allowed at this location? Not sure why. Let's refresh, maybe. Okay. Project. We'll clean. We'll clean it out. And refresh again. Okay, well, I'll pause my video and see if I can't solve that issue.